Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cosmologies. I'm your host, Natalie, and in this special Cosmologies interview, we're going a little deeper into our Lunar Calendars episode and the Chinese Lunar New Year with our very special guest star, Ricky Tsui. Ricky is a STEM educator with over 20 years of experience specializing in engaging, hands-on science explorations for K-12 students. He is the founder of education company Achievers Track, has published 4 astronomy books, 2 astronomy card games, and a revolutionary star map for beginners. He has degrees from Purdue and Liberty University, is a part-time scientist in residence for an international school in Hong Kong, has a TED Talk on YouTube, and even helped design the Science Wonderland Center for the Hong Kong Society for the Protection of Children. I know Ricky through the planetarium community, and truly as a science educator, I might have had just as much fun talking with him about that as I had talking about the Lunar New Year. But Ricky also brought some really fun and personal visual aids and stories, and I'm so honored by his graciousness to share. Our interview is a little bit long, so I've gone ahead and put some time codes into the descriptions if you want or need to jump around. And as always, viewers are reminded that neither I nor any of my guests on this channel can claim to have all of the answers. We're all students in very different places in our journeys. All right, if you're ready, let's go. All right. Welcome, Ricky. Welcome to Cosmologies. We're very excited to have you here today. You are a STEM teacher by trade, that is science, technology, engineering, and math for those who don't know, and you live in Hong Kong. So to start us off, can you tell us a little bit more about your work?
Okay, all right. Hi, everybody, and I'm Ricky. So it's nice to come to your show. So thanks for inviting me. And so let me tell you a little bit what I do. I started this company called Achievers Track 17 years ago, and wow, it seems a long time, but it's like yesterday. And the main focus is to, at the beginning of when we start the business, because I love astronomy. And so I want to have a company that, to teach people how to do astronomy and bring people out to see the stars, which is a very crazy idea at that time. And because if you know, in Hong Kong, the people say, okay, this is not going to make money fast. You're not going to make a lot of money. This is not a good idea. You should go do something else. But that's what I like, and I'm fortunately I stuck with it, and so we grew from that. And other than astronomy, later on we also do different science and on it. And one of the reason I always got asked by a lot of people is that why didn't you go to a school to teach, to be a teacher, to be a real teacher, as they say. You're not a real teacher, okay? And even though I teach those teachers, I say, well, because I just want the flexibility of doing the things that teaching the things that I think is important, not just bound by the syllabus, to teach what I think is important to the kids. And that's what at the beginning is not too it's not a very good idea. Because being a teacher in Hong Kong, it pays very well. It pays extremely well, very well. Yes, it is. And even for junior teacher, they pay very well. If but at that time I say no. I that's not something I want to do it. And in hindsight, 17 years later, I think I made a a good choice for myself. All right. I'm not saying being a teacher is wrong, but for me, that's not the path I want. So
Yeah.
what we do at work, we go to different schools to teach the after school activities. I design science courses. I also teach science courses. We also have our staff to teach, but I always actually from the very beginning, I make a promise to myself I will never stop teaching, even though however busy I will become. All right, because teaching kids is what brings me back into the reality, not just thinking of will this course I design is actually fit for the teacher or not, or for the kids. The best way to do is to test it on the kid, and to see how they do it, what's their interest. And so that's what we do. And from the beginning up to now is we still have after school activities, but with right now everybody focus on STEM, on STEAM, all that. Our courses, surprisingly, for a lot of people say, turned into in-class, in-school activities, become the official activities.
Congratulations.
And yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, well, after 17 years. yeah, that's good. That's good. Nothing wrong. Okay, but I always say people always say, "Well, you're lucky." Yeah, I 17 years later, and so I'm also a part-time scientist in residence for international schools in Hong Kong. I do work for them in the secondary, primary, and the kindergarten department. And what I do, I don't hold a textbook to teach. I just because that's something that a teacher can do easily. What I do is that I turn the topics that they really want to go in depth, and to think of some creative activities for the kids to learn. Okay, for example, electricity. Well, everybody, they teach, okay, you put this and, the light bulbs will light up, okay? And kids are, okay, great. So yeah, I can flip the switches on too. And so we actually create something nice for them. And maybe can I show you something?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So we are actually doing these activities this few days because coming up is Christmas. So we create one of the lessons we teach them is using these copper tapes.
Paper circuits.
Paper circuit. That's right. Yes, paper circuit. And using copper tapes, we have, because I actually went into some of the classes, online classes, by some museums, and to learn that. And then at the end, I will need to modify it for the students in Hong Kong. So we actually find using the CL2023, but we actually put a battery holder in there, so it's easier for kids to do it. And then
Nice.
we change that into some bigger LED, flashy LED. So we teach them about closed circuit, open circuit, okay, in here. And so we teach them one by one. And so I just did like 5 lessons in 2 days. And it's fun. And so to grab something like this, and yeah, maybe I'll just do it very quickly, so just to make the point.
We'll do a fun sidebar here on paper circuits. They're one of my favorite things to teach with too.
Yes. So something like that, and so supposedly we'll put this on. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, so we teach them about open circuit, make the circuit, and then teach them how to break the circuit, and then create the switch. create a switch. So we also teach them about conductor, all different things, and then afterwards ask them to draw something nice in here and then turn it into a Christmas card. Well,
Yeah,
they love it.
I
Yeah,
love
they love
that.
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
you were
so
speaking just directly to my heart here.
yeah. So that's what we do, and as I was preparing to talk to you, actually we have like 4 different ways to teach electricity, and in 4 different factions, and so depends on how old the kids are, their ability is, and so we kind of change that. So that's what we do, and let me move in real quick. We also go find some problems to solve. So I always go around to tell the teachers, say, hey, if you have any teaching problems you want to solve, go find me. I'm the problem solver. And at the beginning, no one's really come to you. But if you say it long enough, then they say, okay, well, they really come up with some, problem to see if you can help them to solve, to make the lesson more fun. And one of the things we came into lately we're doing is doing a portable air monitoring systems. And as every one of you, in Hong Kong is a big city, and there's a lot of air pollutions. So the machines are always actually quite expensive. So we want to create something that for students, that's going to be for upper primary, or for the junior high, so that they can carry a small device in the bags to collect samples on time, and then using an apps to detect it. Okay, so to detect the NO2, CO, PM 2.5, PM 10, then line up with the phone GPS so that we can get some real-time monitoring, so that they can do like a community air quality map.
Yeah.
And so that they can map it. And so that is a project that we almost finished up. That was we started 3 years ago.
That's
We
very
failed
cool.
3 times. We failed 3 times already. Well, yeah, so that's a side project that we're doing. And apart from that, we also do we also create because astronomy is really still my favorite all the time.
Me too.
So I always like to challenge myself to find ways to teach kids about astronomy. Of course, if I love astronomy, I want more people to be more excited with me. Okay, so we create, at the beginning, we just create some curriculums and then do courses. Then afterwards, we say, hey, why don't we just create some astronomy books so for kids to read it. It's bilingual. It's Chinese and Cantonese. Traditional Chinese. We use traditional Chinese, which is a little bit more difficult to write, more strokes. That's okay. All right. And so we create a storybooks like this, and make it fun. And okay, by the way, every chapters we're going to have some experiment for them to do it at home, and some simple experiments so kids love it. Okay, this is actually about a story of 2 kids going around. They just say, Earth is no good. Let's go find some other places. It's too polluted. And well, of course, at the end they find out, Earth is like the best place to be. All right.
Uh-huh.
And so in the meantime, they go through lots of different problems and things. So this is book number 1, and that's book number 2. All right. And so we try to make things fun, and also we will try to keep this as scientific close as possible, not just like a good story. Okay, so the content in here, actually I asked 2 professors in the university to help me to look through the content. Well, at that time they don't know I'm actually doing something like this. I give them a script. They're just very nice to correct my scientific knowledge in there. And of course, we have a little exchange, some argument on that. They say, yeah, you need to, elaborate a little bit more. But I say, this is a kid's book. You can't elaborate too much.
Right.
And so at the end, when they finally, I got the result out and I give it to them and say, hey, I don't know, it's a cartoon books. That's great. So I say, yeah, for kids, you can't just have words. And
right.
Yeah.
There is a really good talk that Neil deGrasse Tyson gives about this, of how you learn, the concept one way, and then when you get a little older, you learn, oh, that's not quite right. There's like another level to this. And it just keeps going that way until you're at the point where, with the rest of the doctorate students in the world going, there's more out there to know that I still don't know.
Yep. So just really quickly, and then after this success of this book, we sold these two books altogether. Altogether, we sold about over 10,000 copies in Hong Kong, and which is okay. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not comparing with other people, so that's the statistic. Then afterwards, I always challenge myself. I say, it is not a very good way to educate people if they always need to listen to me, even though I kind of think they listen to me when I'm talking astronomy to kids. I say it's going to be nice if they can do it at home, if they can, always do it in a game. So we say, hey, why don't we just see if we can turn the astronomy concept into a game. Later on, it's really by God's grace, we come across a game designer they're willing to work with me, and in a reasonable price. And so we developed this what we call the Planet Explorer. Okay, learning about astronomy in planets. So so it's very simple. It's actually a planet, and there's a spaceship, there's a space pirate. But the whole point in here is that, let's say Mercury. Okay, all right, Mercury here. Okay, so so we want them to learn. We want them to learn what it takes to land on Mercury. So so we have a temperature adjust because it's very hot. Okay, weight adjust because different gravity, and then we have the time compressor because one day on Mercury is equals to 58.5 days. So we just want them to know if you want to land there for one day, you need to compress the time. The point is, it's not for them to remember numbers only. We want them to understand the concept. So so every planet will be a little bit different. Now, when you get into the easiest one to land is Earth. You just need food and fuel. Okay, so it's easy to get. And when you need to land on, the toughest one to land is on Jupiter. Okay, on Jupiter. On Jupiter, you will need to have a gas lander. Of course, there's no gas lander. We just make that up. And gas lander, we want them to know it's a gas planet. Okay, and of course, you need to have like temperature and weight and so so also this one is Uranus. So every planet will have a different requirement. So they have to collect the features, and then we put in some game element in there, and so we launch this. And then we actually do this within the class. So they need to collect. So we try to design this very nicely, and to make those people who don't like astronomy much, they say, this is cool. Okay. So have a space jump, and then you can actually robbed by the pilot, and then if you get like invisibility, then you can not being robbed. So all this game element in there, and just just a side story, is that after we sold like 3,000 copies of that, the game designer told me, frankly, he said, at the beginning, I don't think it's going to work. This thing is not going to work. But, it's good that it works out. I said, yeah, I'm glad. And then afterward, with this success, we go into Constellation Explorer, because I want the kids to understand about star maps without need to memorizing them on purpose. I want them to memorize it through the games. So we create another one, Constellation Explorer, another all new kind of game, like game instructions. Okay, and the fun thing is that in this one we put into an idea that if you want to win, you need to help someone, or you need to convince someone to help you. All right, and because we think this is we're teaching astronomy, but we're also teaching kids. We are training them, okay, to be a human.
Absolutely.
And to be a better human. So we need to put something more into just a game, just like I win, you lose. That's it. And so after that, we have an opportunity to create our own star map. Oh, this is the Chinese side. This is the English side. And we always develop things that in both languages. So why? It's because this gives the parents another reason to buy it for the kids, to learn English. So sometimes the kids want to get this, and the parents say, okay, nah, it's not learning something. But if we put Chinese and English together, it gives them another reason to do it, to buy it for the kids. And of course the kids always love it. Yeah, so that's how our design mentality is. So why we design this, it's not because we want to do something. We really want to design our own star maps. It's only because at a period of time, Hong Kong is out of star maps for over a year. And after I wait for 6 months, they say we may not have star maps forever. I say, okay, all right, so thank you. So that means you give me a signal that I need to design my own. So I designed a 12-inch one, all glow in the dark, because the last star maps we bought from another company. They just glow in the dark for the dot. Okay, I say, why not the whole thing, and every single thing, and it's going to be nice. So we do that, and then we also create. I actually put in a lot of things that I like to have in a star maps. Okay, and some people will ask, in this digital age, why you want to create a physical star maps? Why? There's no reason for that. A lot of people ask me that. It's a waste of time and money and resources. Why don't you go build a better, cheaper digital star maps that you can use on the phone? I say, yes, absolutely. I say, you're correct, except the fact that not every kid will have a cell phone,
right,
or an iPad. Even if they do have, can they last for the whole night? Do you think the parents will let them to bring the iPad into a countryside and then lost it at the end? If they lost their star maps, yeah, well, it's not good, but it's okay. So that's our analogy, and we always think learning how to use a star maps is as important as using a digital one. Okay, so we go into all the details of that. We also put in different seasons, the spring curve, the summer triangle, the autumn square, all that, and then we locate that in here. But one thing we really proud of, we designed accidentally, I really say that accidentally, is that we create a system, a very simple system for kids to find constellations, stars, or some of the M objects in the star maps in 10 seconds. When will they have that? Okay, so so let's can I show you that now?
Yes, please. Yeah, this is
Okay,
actually my favorite story about these star maps.
Okay, all right. So so at the back of this of the star map backs, there is a what we call the sky object color matching chart. Okay, what is that? Okay, now this is to show you how you can find the star objects. So let's say, for example, let's say you are a beginner and you don't know. Okay, let's find a okay, so let's find constellation of Cancer. Okay,
All right, let's do it.
Let's say you don't know what it is. Where is it at in the star maps? Usually you're going to look everywhere for the star maps, and most of the time you might end up, like, if you're lucky, in 30 seconds or in like 5 minutes. Okay, you can find it. So now in here, constellation Cancer. Okay, so this is blue. Okay, so remember the blue color. Now the color in the star maps in here is all very colorful. It's not because I want to make it colorful so it looks nice. It's actually, there's a purpose to that. So we say blue, right? So we look into the blue part in here, and then we turn the south side into the blue. Okay. Now once we locate this is the blue part in here. It's like a pizza pie. That's how I teach kids. It's like a pizza pie. So all you have to do is just to look at this slice of pizza. It's a little bit big pizza slice. And then now you can find Cancer right here. It's inside this color. All right. Then after this, I'll ask the kids, you think we're going to see constellation Cancer in July and August? No. You won't. Okay, why? When can you see that? Well, you can see that if you look into this timelines. Okay, from this timeline. Oh, sorry, here. This timelines. Okay, so you can see that in the middle of the sky. Okay, above you from May. Well, because it's upside down. May 18, 5 p.m. all the way to October 18th. Yeah, 18. Okay, 7 p.m. 7 a.m. Sorry.
This is fantastic. Okay.
Yeah. So of course at the beginning we teach them. Okay, so let's say today is March. Let's say it's March 10th, 10 p.m. Okay, so we're gonna line this up together, and then this is the sky you're gonna see. Okay, the way we do it, the 10 seconds find them is the other way around only. Okay, it's just incredible. I see kids just like bling. They say, I got it. We're talking about 6 years old. They say, I got it. And then I say, okay, well, then we turn that into a game. It has to be fun. Okay, we learn best when we're having fun. So I say, okay, let's do a game. Okay, so what about, okay, Orion? Okay, can you find Orion for me? They'll find it in 5 seconds. I tell you, 5 seconds. It's incredible. When you see them understand it, and then they will say, wow, this thing is really easy. Learning astronomy is really easy. It's fun. Okay, that's what we want. That's what I want more of this. People like astronomy because I like it. All right. And so I always find ways to make people, really interested in it. And so that's what we do, trying to make more people like what I like. And yeah, well, I want more people, interested in what I'm interested in, and so I'm finding different ways to make them interested. Yeah. And of course, kids that love astronomy, if you have like a good ways for them to learn it.
Right.
yeah, so that's what we do. And maybe I'll tell you a little story, because a lot of people will always give me more credit than I should.
Is this about
Which
your TED Talk? Because I was about to ask
yes,
about this. Yeah,
yes,
great.
yes,
I would
yes,
love to hear this little bit about your
yeah,
TED Talk. So just so we
yeah,
can call out the fact that you have a TED Talk.
yeah. Well, the Tech Talks title is great. It's not about my success. It's about my failure.
Failure.
And
So important.
yeah. Well, you have to fail more in order to make something works. Okay. So this how this come about is only because when I'm designing when I ask a no astronomy background designer to design this for me, because I don't know how to do the design work on computer, so I had somebody do it. It's a friend of mine. Then after he works on the star maps, and I asked him one day, I say, hey, I want to, can you pull up Orion for me? And I need to add something into that. And he was working on this star maps in his computer for 1 month. He couldn't find it. He couldn't find Orion for a minute, almost a minute. He was looking at it. He was frustrated. And then when he finally find it, he told me, he looked at me, he say, you know what? You say this star map you design for beginner. I tell you what, this is not for beginner, because I've been looking at this for a month. I couldn't even find Orion. This is no use. This is not for beginner. I would just, I can just say, hey, guess what? Just do your work. Don't this system been it's been used for many different countries, ages, years, and what authority you got to challenge this? I could have said that, just say, shut up and do your work.
Yeah,
I didn't.
all astronomers know how to read a planisphere.
Yeah. But I didn't. Actually, I want to. I so close. So I just keep quiet, and then for 5 seconds, I just think about it. I say, yeah, you're right. This is a problem. And if that's a problem, then that's the opportunity to solve the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so after that, I talked with him from his design point of view, what he think, and then afterward, okay, let's think about it. Let's give us a few more days, and then I call up some of my astronomy friends, and then afterwards, a few days later, when I'm in the shower, actually I'm taking a shower, and of course I think unconsciously I've been thinking about this, and then all of a sudden I thought I thought the system out. Of course, we modify a bit. Why didn't we put like Cancer, July, and August? Because that's not right. So at the end, we settle down for colors. Okay, settle down for colors, because that's more neutral in a sense. It's not misleading. Okay, and so after this, we think, okay, that's great, and we bounce it off this idea with different people, and they kind of help me modify it. So this is a second version. So we put some M objects in there, some stars, people like to see, and in there. So that's how it goes. And one time, an XIPS president.
Those who don't know, that's the International Planetarium Society.
Yes. Sorry. Yes, International Planetarium Society. That gentleman came over Hong Kong, and we have a chance to for a small group of astronomers, like people who like astronomy, who are doing education work. to meet with him for dinner, and then I told him about this idea. At that time, I didn't even have this ready yet. It's still on design and production. And I told him that, and he said, that's great. He said, I would love to see that if you have that ready sometimes in future. So when he came back again, and we got this, and then he saw it, and he told me that's like one of the best design he ever seen for people to learn astronomy in the star maps. And I'm humble. I'm humble. I'm glad I didn't ask my designer to shut up,
right,
and do the work, and just be humble, and and then that's it.
You never know where inspiration will come from, sometimes from failure.
Yes, exactly. So,
which is, I think, another one of the points in your talk.
Yeah. So sorry, it takes a little bit too long to explain my work, but that's what I do.
No, that's fantastic. We now have a really great idea of, who you are and what you do. I feel a lot of the points that you made. I'm also, an educator who has not gone to teacher school, but works in the informal education world, and a lot of the same reasons, I think, as you. There's just nothing quite the same as being able to explore in lots of different directions of what you're passionate about in education.
Yeah. Well, but at the end, as I want to add up, after 14 years into my teaching and business, teaching lots of students and teachers, thousands and thousands of teachers, students, hundreds and hundreds of teachers. I actually did go back because my primary degree is on food science, because I love food. I just love food. And when my parents asked me why you choose food science, I said, because I love to eat. I can only study what I'm interested. And then a few years ago, I did go back to school to get a Master of Education.
Oh, fantastic!
Yes. It's a good. It's a good way to conclude everything, and it's nice. It's a little bit easy to do the assignment because I have lots of failure, lots of kind of experience, and so I just have to match with the theory that they're doing. So I'm just going to tell you the story.
Well, thanks for letting us know. Maybe that's in my future. We'll see.
Okay.
So speaking of astronomy and also of food, actually, our next question here, since this is kind of a channel where we talk a lot about the cosmos and cosmologies, I've invited you here today to talk a little bit about the Chinese lunar calendar and also the importance of Chinese Lunar New Year. So I'm wondering if you can tell us a little bit of background on just the significance of the calendar in general, and then you can tell us a little bit about New Year, and that is where the food comes in.
Oh, okay, sure. That's great. Yes, in Chinese and Hong Kong, we use what we call the Western calendar. Okay, January, February, to December. Okay,
yeah.
We do observe that everywhere around, but we also put a lot of emphasis on the lunar calendar. Okay, because a lot of our traditional festivals, celebration are based on lunar calendar. Okay, so I have to say the Chinese New Year, the Lunar New Year, is a lot more bigger than the January 1st holiday, and at least in the length of holiday date you got, and in Chinese New Year and in the Lunar New Year holiday, you at least get like a 5 or 6 or even some company, they will give you like 10 days of holiday. But in the Western New Year holiday, you got 1 day holiday. so that's show you a little bit how important it is. Okay.
So You said maybe 5, 6, 7, 10 days. Do the festivities start from the new moon leading up to the full moon, or does it kind of start a little bit into the calendar once we're getting up to the full moon?
Oh, okay. Usually, okay, yes. If for students, okay, for students, they will start to have the holiday before before the Lunar New Year. It's like the December, the 12th. Well, we don't really. It's like December. It's like the 12th month. We also have like 12th month. The 12th month, they usually start on the 29th of the lunar calendar. Okay, because they traditionally they will need to help their family to prepare for the for the Lunar New Year holiday.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of things need to do. So school will usually out on the 12 on the 2 days before, 2 or 3 days before the Lunar New Year holiday. For people at work, it's a little bit different. On the day before the Lunar New Year holiday, they will usually get a half day off, because the day before the Lunar New Year holiday, that night, we call it, they will the family, the immediate family member, they will gather for a dinner. Okay, a gathering dinner. That's exactly the name, of gathering dinner. So it's like a big thing. So usually company will say, okay, take half days off, and they take half days off for them. And then for the Chinese New Year, the official public holiday is only 3 days, official one.
Okay.
But lots of companies, they will actually extend it out to like a week. And some of the company, they will just, because anyway, during the Lunar New Year holiday is no one will really do a lot of business, because people would just go visiting different people. So most of the it would be the shops will be open, like the for the of the restaurant. In the past, actually, even the restaurant will close. Everything will close. Okay, and but right now, some restaurant will open, and but lots of business will just close for the to give people take a rest.
Yeah.
And so sometimes they will go for one whole week, and sometimes they will like find like the best day. I don't know all the detail of that, because I'm not really into that system. They'll say, okay, they find the most good day. They'll pick a good day. How that good day comes about, they have like a whole set of system to find it. I'm sorry, I don't look into that. Every day is a good day for me. Yeah, every day is a good day for me. And so, because sometimes they will say, okay, on the first month, the 7th day on the first month, it's like a good day to work, not good day to move. For me, I'm sorry, I don't follow that. Every day is a good day for me. So, so yeah, they will follow that, and so that's how they do. That's
so kind of like there's a numerology aspect to it, but you're not really familiar with it.
Yeah, well, they written in some of the Chinese calendar. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you can do that. You can go vacation, good for vacation or good for moving, bad for making business deal. Some people will actually do that.
Okay.
And some people will follow that. Not for me. Every day is okay.
So,
as long as I get
if we're looking at like the Chinese lunar calendar, do we consider the new moon to be the 1st, or is it the 15th, or is the full moon the 1st or the 15th?
First.
New
Like
is the
1st
first.
of January.
Okay.
And this year is if I remember correctly, let me check it very, very quickly. It's on the Western calendar, February
12th, I believe.
12th. Yes, that's right. February 12th will be the first day for the lunar calendar.
And it's a new moon on the 12th.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Because that's
yes.
when we're releasing the episode after this.
Yeah. So,
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
That's some great information on moons and dates and stuff. Can you go into a little bit more of how you like to celebrate?
Yes. Okay. Well, there's so many
so much
little
to
things.
say.
So so many little things. So actually, I wrote down some of the things on different aspects at work.
Perfect.
Some work tradition. Okay, so I hope I can get this. I mean, when I'm writing this, I don't even realize it until I'm preparing for your talk, for your interviews. Yeah. Okay, at work, staff are usually very excited, and because before the Chinese New Year, they will usually give out bonus. Yes.
Ooh.
They don't give out they don't give out bonus on like January 1st. No, that's a normal day. That's a new day, but it's not like that special. Before the Chinese New Year, they will give a bonus. So that's like big thing. Okay. Usually, okay. I know this year, economy is not good, and but usually in the normal usual time, company, if they do okay, do good, they will give an extra month of salary to the staff on before Chinese New Year, on that month. Yes. Sometimes we call it the extra month of salary, or 2 months salary. So on February, you got like 3 months of salary. So besides your February original one, you get 2 more. And usually they will give you that before before the Lunar New Year holiday, because there's a lot of expenses going into the holiday. All right. And so that's, of course, there's many company will do differently, but that's the usual.
For
that's
like hourly workers or
Yeah. So also at least I'm doing it. We will clear all the bills that you need to pay, all your bills.
Yeah.
And you need to pay the people, okay, before Chinese New Year, or people will not be happy. Yes. We say people will curse you. Yeah, you just you don't pay me before that for the money you owe me. And on business, I always clear all the bills. Well, I never late for bills, but I put it more in advance for them. So yeah, because people will need a little bit more money for their holiday. So that's the work side. I didn't realize it until I just write down. Okay.
I'm glad you wrote it down. That's really informative.
There's many little tiny things in there. Okay. Also on the 12th month lunar calendar, we talk about on the 12th month, 28th of the 12th month. Okay. Usually it's 3 days or 2 or 3 days before the Lunar New Year holiday. You will clean your house. We call that day is like house cleaning. Okay. And why? Well, first of all, you want to have a clean house, okay, for the new year. All right. And also that's like a tradition. My mom, when I was young, she will always say that during the week for the new year. So that means for the new year holiday, the first of at least 3 days, you don't sweep the floor. You don't sweep the floor. You don't clean anything. You don't clean it. Why? Because you sweep away the good thing.
Oh.
Yeah, well, but then later on, I told my mom, don't worry, I don't sweep. I use vacuum cleaner. Yeah, she
But this
was.
is while the party is happening. You don't want to get rid of the good party energy until the party's over.
Yeah. So the good fortune, good things, okay, you want to keep them, okay? And you always need to say nice words in the new year, okay? You don't say what is the bad words like dying, bad, all that, you try to avoid that, okay? But when I was a kid, I break all these rules. Okay.
That is interesting though, because a lot of people think of the new year as the death of the old year and the beginning of the new year. So it's interesting that death is something that you maybe don't talk about.
Yeah, well, during the New Year holiday, the Lunar New Year holiday.
Yeah.
Also before the Lunar New Year holiday, you will go buy some clothes. Especially you need to buy new trousers. Why? Because in Cantonese, the word trousers is full, okay? And it's exactly almost the same sound as rich. Rich is full. Trousers is also full.
So
you want to
words.
buy. Yes, you want to buy riches. Okay, so lots of people will go to buy trousers. I don't buy trousers at that time. It's too expensive. That's not the time you buy it. Yeah. So I don't do that. But I will tell you, a lot of people do that. And shops will have say, buy riches, buy fool. Like, they use like they play with the words. Okay.
Yeah.
And in the also before Chinese New Year, everybody will have their hair cut. Everybody. Oh. Yes. I didn't realize it until I'm writing it down. Because you cannot, at least you cannot get people to have your hair cut in the first 2 weeks. Usually the hairdresser will have 2 weeks off for Chinese New Year holiday, for the holiday. I have no really good idea about why. Maybe just like pull out the good, make it nice and clean for the new year, and don't cut out the good thing. I don't know, but that's what we do. That's the tradition. I never go into
service workers get 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So So the I talked to a hairdresser before. They say, you did so much hair cutting. They literally, it's crazy. They will literally start work at 9 a.m. and they will finish at midnight.
Oh.
Cut. They was like, wow, everybody's coming in to cut. They have the haircut. They say, it's the eye is even hurting. They say, not the finger, it's the eyes is hurting. Just to look at that. Yeah. So afterward, they say, yeah, they'll get like 2 weeks off. So it's good. So
that's good.
Yeah. So also, during the Lunar New Year holiday, actually my parents recommend us not to buy shoes and clock. Why? Shoes in Cantonese is high. Okay, it's like when will you? It's like you don't. When you're not doing right, it's not doing good. So you don't go buy shoes. Okay?
There's so much wordplay. I love it, wordplay.
Yeah. Well, but guess what? That's the time you should buy shoes if you don't care about the tradition, because they got like huge sales. I always buy shoes there. The first 2 weeks of the New Year holiday. You always go there. They got like 50% off, 60% off because nobody's buying shoes. For those, you know, traditional people, I go buy. I mean, you buy one get one free, and I go there. I don't care. Every day is a good day. But that's what I tell you, okay? And you don't go by clock, okay? Because clock, the word clock in Cantonese is 钟. It's also the same word as ending.
Oh.
The end. Yes. You don't want to buy the end.
Right.
I don't care. Well, yeah. If you want to buy clock, you want to buy watch, that buy over there at that time. If you don't worry about, you know, the tradition, you always got sales. You always got bargains on that. Yeah.
Again, that's really interesting because, of course, all new beginnings are also endings.
Yeah. Yeah. So also, wow, I don't want to miss all that. Okay, now before, there's so many things you need to do. Okay, before the New Year holiday, a week before that, we will have in Hong Kong, we have the flower market. People will buy flowers, different decorations of that. Okay, and I can show you some. Maybe I can show you some photo. I need to share some photos.
Let me go ahead and make you a host again.
Yes. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Yes, the host is you. Go ahead and screen share whenever you want.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Okay, well, let's see. That's the other one. Okay, so you go to the flower market, and okay, let me give you the size of the flower market or the market. This like 7 days market. It's like this. This is the biggest one in Hong Kong.
It's massive.
It's massive. And not only they sell flower. Okay, let's do the flower first. Okay. Let's see. Decoration. This plant is like, the name is like all the nums in there, they are like a family member. So that means you have lots of family members. So they always like, oh, that's great, you know, family members together. Okay.
And I can see they're arranged in like a family tree.
Yeah. And you also want to buy some this plant. This is like some tangerine, small one. Yeah, because this the name is in Cantonese is gat, means is good fortune. So we say you want to buy the big tangerine. So big blessing. Okay, and we always say Dai gat Dai Lei, big fortune, big prosper. Okay, so so people will buy that. And even in our building, in the estate, they will put it everywhere. Okay, so also other flowers, you know, people just buy other flowers. We also buy some. And so other than the flower market, one side they will also have what we call the dry market. All right, so what do they sell? Well, they sell some of them, they sell this is like it's like a little wind. It's not a turbine, it's like the wind blade thing. So
like a pinwheel.
When windmill, yes. When winds goes and you know, it will turn, it means it's like good fortune will come. Grab good fortune.
Okay,
yes. yeah, so that's one of that. And also, okay, let me show you what I have in here. Okay, now if that's the year of the, because we have 12, every year there's like a, so there's like a character to represent that year. So let's say that year is like the next year is the year, let's say the year of ox. Okay, in the year of chicken, so people will, well, you see this is like a Campbell soup can, but
Yeah.
they actually change it. So good year, eat well, home well. Well, it's not really good English grammar, but it's just like something nice, something fun. Okay,
Yeah.
Chinese. Okay, Chinese New Year, chicken year. Okay, so this is the Chinese word for that. Okay, and so lots of chickens in there. So who designed this? Well, this kind of this 7 days market is everywhere in Hong Kong, in different districts. And who's operating that? Well, they will 2 months before that. They will have an auction, open auction, and many times it's NGO. They want to sell the product, sell the service, let people know. There's sometimes political parties. Sometimes it's just secondary school. Teachers will bid a booth with the students, especially for those students study economics, so they know how to do business. So because they will need to design the products, and then they will find a manufacturer to manufacture for them, and then to do all the logistics. That's like the best lesson that they can, internship that they can get. And how to sell it, how to, low down the price when they need it. And and usually, and the market will be for whole day on the last day. It will last until 5 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. It's 5 a.m. But it's wild. It's wild. I mean, it's incredible. And also, you can also buy some of these. This is called Fai Chun. We will actually have this traditionally if you live in a house, okay? A lot of people live in apartment. I live in apartment in Hong Kong. Okay, they will actually have these two Fai Chuns around. They will say good words around it. So what this says in here, this is Ping On, peace. Okay, and this is the word fu. And this is like a rice bucket that you store the rice. And you see there's like lots of rice in here. That means you have surplus. You want to have surplus, okay? And so holding surplus. So you have peace, and then because in the past, if you have rice, that means you're doing well, okay? So you're peace and doing well, prosper, okay? Usually they will actually write it on a red paper, like a red paper. They draw on it, but we buy this. This is that they make, so we can do it all year round and then hang it around our house.
Yeah, and it's reusable, so you don't have to
reusable.
throw it out.
Yeah. Also, you're gonna buy something like this. Fish. Fish is another big symbol for this. Okay. Because fish in Cantonese is yu. Okay, it's almost the same pronunciation as surplus. Yao yu. Yu. This is fish. Yu. Yao yu. Surplus. Okay. So means you want surplus. Okay, you want surplus, and means you make more than what you spend. So you want that. So people will hang around that. We got a few around our house.
I have a question about that.
Sure.
I've read somewhere that sometimes one of the food traditions is to, bake a fish and then to not eat it as the final course, as a symbol that you have more than you need. Is that something you've heard of people doing?
I I haven't heard of that. But we usually in traditional. I think this we don't do that much now, okay? Because we don't want to waste food. Is
Right.
you don't finish everything on the dish, no matter. Well, that's what my dad teach me. You don't finish everything on the dish. That's not really environmental. Okay, food preserve. Mindset. It's because they say you want some left over, means
Right.
you have, yeah, so
You've had
but we
enough,
don't
you're
do that.
full, you have
I just,
surplus.
yeah, but I don't do that. I just finish all of that. Yeah,
It's good food.
yeah, it's food, come on, it's nice food, just eat it. And so that's and also, oh, speaking of food, while we okay, let me share the screen again. Oh, okay. Okay. I think
You're still a
okay.
host.
Yes. Okay. So we also eat all kinds of nice food. Okay. So this is like a container, a container, a nice container that you put different things in there. So when people come and visit you, you're going to serve them this. Okay. And sweets, all kinds of sweets. There's like way too many sweets. So people always say you have to lose weight after Chinese New Year. Yeah. All kinds of cakes, like different kind of cakes. Radish cake,
Spicy.
all that. Yeah, nice cakes. Too many cakes. And,
what's your favorite kind of cake to eat at New Year?
For me, it's like I like the radish cake.
Okay.
We can, yeah, they that's a lot of works. We just buy it outside, and you can steam it. You can cut into slice, and then you steam it, or you can you can fry it. You can like deep fry it. It's good,
Ooh.
and then yeah. It's nice. And you also you put, actually you put whatever things you want. Sometimes, okay, I'm going to show you mine. Okay,
Yay.
I'm going to show you my, okay, my one is a 3-layer. Okay, is Tweety.
So cute.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So 3 layers, of course, there's nothing in there because it's not Chinese New Year, and we'll feed them some, okay, coming up. And so 3 layers. So when people come visit you, you lace it out, let them to eat, and the kids will actually pick out all the candies and all that thing.
Of course.
Yeah. So kids love it. And speaking of kids loving it, that's one more thing that kids will love it, is actually they will receive red pocket. Okay, hold on. Let's see if am I still?
You should still be the host. I haven't taken it back yet.
Okay, all right. Okay. I need to stop sharing for now. Oh, okay. I already stopped sharing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Now, also speaking of things kids love, they'll get red pocket. What's that? Well, red. You always red, like bright color, pink, all this, or yellow. Okay, all this nice golden color. All right. You will usually marry people will give it to the singles. Okay. And what's in there? Money. Literally, yes, it's money. They will put money in there. We'll put money in there. And
is this usually
so,
like parents giving to kids, or is this,
yes.
as a married person, me trying to show off to my other unmarried friends?
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. Usually your friends like, no, come on. Yeah. Usually parents will give it to the kids. or my uncle will give it to me still, because
Okay.
they're the older one. Even though I'm married,
Yeah.
they say, okay, don't worry, we'll just give it to you, and I'll give it to my niece, and so that's or just any kids that you see on the usually on the first week of Lunar New Year holiday. Okay. So what do you do? Okay, so let's show you some design first. Okay, this
Yeah.
is from the district, local district office. Okay, in my district, so they just give it out to people. It's like a little promotion things, and well, I actually got like 3 of that design from 3 years. Okay, so they're all different. So this one, the word is blessing, and you see some background of Hong Kong. This one you see fish again. Okay, you always see fish surplus.
Yeah.
Okay, and they say平安, like peace, 有餘 like surplus. They just say it outright. And this one, they have the zodiac, the 12 animals. 恭喜發財, wish you make money.
That's
You make
I've always
lots.
heard that translated as just Happy New Year, but it's good to
No,
know.
it's not. It's like 恭喜發財. It's like wish you make lots of 發財 means like lots of money. Yeah. So this one, okay, that's another one. This the blessing, okay, and this one is from a shop. It's a pretty big Japanese store in Hong Kong, and they also give that out, okay, and 永旺年年, forever, lots of people coming to your store every year. Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you can beat that. Okay, and so when a single, let's say when a single meet a married person, okay, even on the street or when you go visit them, okay, the person who receive it will have to say some nice word to the person who give it to them. All right. Yeah. So like my niece will have like 10 different slogan already ready. So whenever it's ready. So I always say, okay, tell me 10 good things. Come on. Tell me 10 good things. So she will say, good health, 恭喜發財. I say, no, this is like too common. Tell me something like better. So she have like whole lines of this. And,
oh wow.
Yeah, it's fun. So, and then we'll give it to them.
And do you want something specific? Like, I hope that your planetarium business does well this year.
No. Well, you can demand that, okay? But that's just for fun. That's just for fun. Yeah. for my niece. So usually if we go out and if we go out to just kids will say 恭喜發財, and then you give them that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we also will give it to we also give it to the people who do some service for us during Chinese New Year. If they have to work, like the security guard, we'll give them that. The clean, I give it to the person who clean the building for us, to collect the garbage for us, because they have to work all year round. Yeah. And so that's what we do. Well, of course, some people don't, but we most of the people we do the security guard. So that's why the very day you do not want to take a sick leave or holiday for a security guard is the Chinese New Year holiday, because you can actually literally collect like 10-20 of this a day.
Wow.
Yeah, when people go visit them, and then that, in there, not much, money, but if you have 30 of them, that's it.
That's
You
your
might put
bonus.
you might put like $2, $2, 2 free US dollars in there, and then come on, one day 30 of them, then you got $100 just by saying nice word, just doing your work.
Yeah, adds up.
Yeah, so that's some of the tradition people like, and of course kids love it, and they can sweet, and then they can make money. Yes. Yeah, so when I was young, I have to tell you, it might be a little bit embarrassing. I really want to make some money, so I would literally drag my mom to go to, let's visit that relative, let's visit that friend. Because when you go in there and as a kid, they will give you that. I mean, no matter how small, and they give you like 10. Oh, also, if it's a couple, they will give 2 red pocket to the kids.
Oh, wow.
Not 1. Yes, 2. So you do the math. I mean,
a
as
kid
a
could
kid,
get
you
rich.
make money. Yeah, the more people you visit, but I mean, I didn't look into the perspective from my parents, because when you go in there, you need to bring gift. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then my mom will need to give red pocket back to the people if they have kids. I don't care. I mean, they give it to me. I can keep my money. So that's something fun. Okay?
Well, that actually kind of brings me to another question here, which is just talking about visiting people on the New Year. We talked a little bit about this before, but there's a story, or there are multiple stories behind visiting people.
Yes. So before, so the story is that there was a beast. Okay, it's gonna come out, the beast of the year. All right, and it's gonna come out before before the Lunar New Year holiday, New Year Eve. So that's why your family need to gather together for the dinner. Gather together, okay? So you stay together, and then to fight the beast. What, so to say, okay?
Yeah.
And so the beast will not kill you. All right. So on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, what happened is that you will go around to your relative, to their home. Well, literally, is to see if they're dead or not. You don't say that. That's it.
But you don't say it.
Yeah, you don't say it. You say, yeah. When you go there, you say 恭喜發財. Okay. Yeah. But the real tradition is to see if they're still alive after the beast coming over, and and you congratulate them, they're alive.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this reminds me of a lot of other winter traditions around the world, where people gather together in specifically the darkest and coldest months of the year, the winter, when people are susceptible to disease and famine and all kinds of things. And especially if it's right before the Lunar New Year, that's the darkest part of the lunar cycle, as well, as we have a real dark moon. So that's, of course, when the darkness and the monsters are going to come. And so this is kind of the emerging from the darkness.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And and one more thing. Oh yes, I write down is that on New Year's Day, that lunch usually, for most family, okay, at least my family and my in-laws family, they will be a vegetarian for one meal. For one meal, okay, or for one day. Sometimes one meal, sometimes one day. Why? The reason is, if we can go through the year, in the animal So they say give them a rest for one day, not to kill them, not to eat them. But I always say to my no, one day is not enough. because I'm a vegan and a vegetarian too. Okay, I say you need to be a whole year to help them. Then they say one day is fine.
A little bit at a time, I suppose. But yeah, no, one day is not gonna, even with everybody.
Yeah. So that's some of that. Okay. Also, okay. One more thing.
Okay.
When you go back to work after the New Year holiday, okay, your boss or your superior, okay, if you have lots of superior, that's good. Okay, we're going to give you a red pocket, not as the one that, you know, single marry. Okay, if your boss, even you're single, you also give that. That's the red pocket for starting your new year of work.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
And if you have multiple superiors, you get one from each of them?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
But does that come out of the boss's pocket, or does that come out of the company's pocket?
Well, if it's usually it's coming out from the boss pocket.
All right.
Because that's a personal. But of course, some company, if you have the big boss, they may just use it as like a company expenses.
I see.
But
yeah.
Yeah. Well, for me, I actually come out from my pocket. I give it to my staff.
Yeah, it's a personal extension of work. You spend so much time there.
Yeah. Well, usually your boss will give you like big money, like $20, $30, like $50. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, free money. And you will also, your boss will, at work, you will also have like the starting the new business day meal together. So the company will have a meal together at the start.
Nice.
when you go back to work again. Okay. And so that is some nice things. And so at work, so that's why you know why they have to give like bonuses. You have to give out money, like all that. And so, but it's fun. It's fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy giving kids the red pocket, because they're fun. They're so eager. They come up to you and say, "Oh, 恭喜發財, 恭喜發財, 恭喜發財." I say, okay, well, can you say like 3 nice things for me, please? Yeah, 3, 4, 5 things. They would just like recite like a rapper. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah,
I wonder also, there are 2 things that I wonder before going on to this next question. One of the things that I'm wondering is about how the Lunar New Year kind of became such a big, I mean, it's definitely about success and fortune and having enough and surplus. I wonder how it became that. And then the other thing that I'm wondering is this 13th like extra month of salary, if that has any tie to this sometimes 13th extra moon that happens, but it might not be related at all.
The extra month salary, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, well, because some company they give 14th month or 15th month. Some of them, my friend. Yeah, wow, nice. So if you got 4 months salary in 1 month, that's wow. You can beat that. How that your first question? How that Lunar New gets so big? I guess it's because the traditional Chinese society is an agricultural society.
Mm-hmm.
And in agriculture, that's is hard work, especially in the past. Okay, no machine, and other than your ox if you're rich enough. So the Chinese New Year, the Lunar New Year holiday is really the time that they can take like rest. So that is, so all the gathering, celebration of your all all your produce that you got, okay, your crops, and so gather together. That's I guess that was the main thing. Of course,
That makes sense.
that we right now we shift away, not really agriculture on that, but that's how the traditional goes.
It's fantastic. There's thanks for putting that into perspective for me. There's a lot of, like, everyone around the world who used to have an agricultural society or still does usually has some kind of a harvest festival, but a lot of them are in the fall. And I know, like, in America we do Thanksgiving, and that's when we gather all of this extra food and surplus and stuff. But it makes just as much sense in the winter, especially as can also be your spring festival. It's like, what do we still have? What can we still be thankful for in the very depths of the winter?
Yeah, because also the lunar calendar, they base a lot on the weather. They incorporate into that. So so that's the importance of the lunar calendar, and with the agricultural sense.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
Well,
that was something that I was trying to put together, and you really helped me put that together there. So I have another, this is kind of question and kind of explanation, since we're both astronomy people. I just was wondering if you had any thoughts to share about this idea, about the Chinese Zodiac, because we have 12, and the Western Zodiac also has 12, but those zodiac constellations are based on the actual constellations that the sun goes through on the ecliptic. And that's not the case for the Chinese Zodiac.
No. The Chinese Zodiac is more for the whole year. For the whole year. And so they have all the animals. So
on that little animal card again.
Yeah, the chick. Well, I'm actually reading from the the chicken, the dogs, the pig, the dragon, and the mouse, and the ox, the rabbit, the sheep, the monkey, the tiger, the horse, and gosh, what I missed. The 12.
but because they're not based on actual constellations, they're not really relevant to astronomers.
No, not really. Not that I know of. Yeah.
So just for background for the people who are watching or listening, we've looked into this a little bit, and neither of us are really experts on this. But apparently these 12 apparently these 12 zodiac signs are actually based on the movement of Jupiter, which we talked about in an earlier episode about the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, and how that it's about an 11.85 year cycle, which is very close to 12, which is why we have each one of these years coming together to form a 12-year cycle, which is actually part of a 60-year cycle, because there's more to it than that. There's these 12, and then there's a 10 in there as well, and they kind of work together. I don't feel like I'm explaining it very well, but maybe I'll explain it better in my other video.
Okay, that's good enough.
Yeah, and needless to say, that what I'm getting to is that there's not really an astronomical direct association between these zodiacs at all, but we are going into an ox year, just in case anybody out there wanted to know. But more on that, since we mostly over here get a very Western perspective of the sky, you do use the Greek Hellenic constellations mostly, but you use Chinese star names, right?
Yes, that's right. We use the Chinese star names and the Greek constellations systems. So maybe I can share with you one of the every lunar calendar, 7th, which is like July 7th on lunar calendar. Okay, there is a story about for the summer triangle, the two main stars for the summer triangle, which is the outer, and outer is the cowboy, and first cowboys want to get nice girls, okay, the Vega, okay, and so the story goes that on every year the 7th, July 7th on the lunar calendar, that the cowboy and the girls is going to meet because they are separated by the Milky Way. All right, so the story goes that birds will create a bridge for the girls and the boys to meet halfway, okay, in the midway. Nice story, but I think I'm a spoiler for the story. When I say that, I will always tell my student, it's not gonna happen. It's not. They're not gonna meet forever because
it's just not gonna happen.
They're so far away. They are light years away, and so I say, just a story, okay? But in reality, now they can, and they can't meet each other, unfortunately. So the cowboys and the girls just staring at each other. Yeah. So yeah. So that's one of the story that I usually tell, because it's also because both star belongs to the summer triangle, and so when we talk about summer triangle, we will talk about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of really great stories that come out of the summer triangle, but I mostly know Greek ones. So thanks for sharing one of those. I have a question on the technical side, because we both use digitalis planetariums. There is as we know, kind of a sky set for Chinese constellations. Do you have anything to say about those, or any context for those?
Well, actually, I look into that, and they have some lines drawn there, but usually those because the system we use is mainly Greek, the Greek system, so we don't really look into that. Actually, I do have a book that was published by a Hong Kong astronomer, I can say, is a curator for the Space Museum. He have a whole book. I think that is I'm not sure, is it Chinese and English. It's talk about all the Chinese stars, stories, background about that.
I mean, China's obviously a huge place and full of tons of people that, might not have been historically connected to each other. So of course there's probably a lot of folk astronomy happening all over the place. So it's probably like collections. There's, like most places on the world, there are star stories, whether or not everybody uses the same ones or not.
Exactly. Yes. So,
perfect.
So we're more familiar with the Greek one.
Yeah.
So that's how we come with that.
Okay. Now, since we're going to kind of get to the end of our interview here, I want to take a quick sidebar and ask if there's any other stories associated with the new year, because we talked about this monster that comes to potentially get us. Are there any other stories associated with the moon or with the new year? I know there's some stories about a lunar rabbit out there that mostly come from China.
Yeah. Well, okay. One more. It was in my note. They will play. They will use firecrackers on New Year's as soon as on the midnight on New Year's Eve. So when Eve go to the day, on that they will have firecrackers. Although it is illegal in Hong Kong to do firecrackers because accidents happen like
Oh yeah, it's so there's so many people. Yeah, cities.
But hey, in the countryside they always have that. They always have that, and it's just incredible. Let me show you. It just let's see. Oh, firecracker. Oh, I'm sorry. I may not have. Oh, yes. No, I may not have that. But it just
That's
like
okay.
one long thing, and it just to scare off the beast.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
Yes, to scare off the beast, and so that's one thing. About the rabbit thing is rabbit story is more for the Mid-Autumn Festival.
Okay.
Yeah, for the Mid-Autumn Festival. Not much to the New Year.
Okay.
To the New Year. Yeah.
So it's a moon story, but it's not related to. It's different to it. It's related to a different moon. Same moon, different time.
Same moon, but different time.
Yeah. Fantastic. All right. Well, I'm wondering if there are any other common myths or misconceptions that you've heard of about the new year that you'd like to clear up here. I've often heard, for example, people conflating lion dance and dragon dance. And
okay, all right. All right. So in Hong Kong, okay, dragon dance. Dragon dance actually is long. So it takes a lot of people to do it. It's a pretty large scale, and so it's not how to say? It's not too handy. Okay. And you need some serious organization in order to do that. You will do that in like a big, huge event.
Yeah. Okay.
But lion dance is actually quite popular, to the point that they will actually some sports. Well, this is a sports. Okay, the lion dance is a sports. Okay. They actually even teach that in the school. It's like after school activities to do lion dance, and so many times this sports group will hire like a truck, an open hatch. It's like a big truck. It's like a big truck with an open back hatch, and then they will actually put the lions in the truck because you can see through that, right? And
right,
then
like
they
a
will
parade
just
float.
and then the truck will just drive around your district, and then of course it's very noisy because they have a drum and everything, so they're coming. And so and some of the apartment estate, the management will have the lion dance for that lion dance, and so that's that. So it's nice. And also lion dance is we will use it apart from the New Year holiday. We also a lot of stores, even Western stores, okay, they will have lion dance on the grand opening.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Even Western stores. Yeah. So that's the tradition. Means like lively. When you heard a store have like lion dance, oh, okay, that's a new store. Yeah, because the drum is like, wow, you can hear it from like 10 blocks away. So noisy. So they will go around the store. The light. I never cram into the store to see the lion dance because it's like that too many people, kids just like rush into that. But they will just, the lion will just go around the stores and yeah, so that's one of them. And I actually do have some photo of the lion dance and so this is the lion. Oh, okay. By the way, there's many different lions. Don't ask me how to distinguish them. There's like whole line of that. I'm not really, I don't
It's
really
not
understand.
your line of expertise.
Yeah, not my line of expertise at all. Okay,
Lion
so they have,
of expertise.
yeah. So this is so they can go into different shows and go into all the stunts that they do
Oh wow.
like this. Yeah. So yeah. But also in Hong Kong, some of them they do dragon dance, but one of the just to out of the topic is Hong Kong. Actually, they have a very large festivals for the fire dragon dance. That was that I remember is in the around Mid Autumn festivals in a special place in Hong Kong. So they have incense, okay,
But
and
not for New Year's.
not really for New Year, but I heard a few years ago, they start to do this in New Year
Okay.
because it was so famous. The story could go for this line dance is the Tai Hang fire dragon. Okay, it's actually in UNESCO. Like the traditional, yeah, for that.
Wow.
And it's because there was a many years ago, many years ago. There's a virus, there's a plague happen, and people just create the dragon dance, and then with the incense, it's very smoky, okay,
Mhm.
and then just to get all the virus out, okay.
Yeah.
So it's very long. It's 67-meter long.
It's
yeah.
so cool though. It's
And
so
it's
beautiful.
very well, as I heard, I never participated in that. It's very heavy and it's hard work, super hard. Imagine you got like hundreds of incense on top of you. You have to raise it, and the ash are coming down to you. Wow.
Don't want your hair to catch on fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So
are there any other misconceptions you want to clear up here?
Well, not that I can think of.
Okay.
From my little
Perfect.
research. Yeah. So.
All right. Well, in general, is there anything else that you'd like to add about the New Year or the lunar calendar, or about your traditions? Anything we haven't talked about that you think that we might want to before we wrap up?
Well, if you, well, of course not right now because of the pandemics. So like maybe a few years after, okay, it would be nice to come to for the Lunar New Year. Just come. It's going to be a bit more expensive, okay, because that's like the biggest holiday.
Yeah.
But you're going to see a lot of go to different flower market and to see all this students yelling and come and buy from me, it's good fortune. And they will have all this stuffing. Wow, it's nice. It's nice. And eat all the food, or eat all the all the New Year food is good. So I think that's it. And just come and experience and
come see it someday. Out of curiosity, has your family started talking about how you will do New Year differently this year, being that it's a plague year?
No, we didn't talk about that yet. It's still up in the air. But last year, because we already the pandemic's already started just before the new year, so we actually cancel the relative visiting relative one. We just call them and they're live. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You're live. And we did have it's fortunate that we have the gathering dinner for last year, but then after that, then no more gathering at all, just for the safety. Just for safety. Of course, some other people, they still have the family gathering, but not for us, for safety reason.
Right.
And so
yeah,
that's it. We didn't talk about that. Yeah.
Lots of people having that conversation right now, especially in America, about Christmas.
Yeah, well, Christmas. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. It's changing daily. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, is there anything else about that you'd like to share with us about how we can find more of your work? Is there a website or a blog where we can find more information if we wanted to buy some of those star maps, maybe?
Well, I do have a website, but unfortunately, most of them are in Chinese.
Yeah.
Because my main purpose is to serve the students in Hong Kong.
Of course.
But we do. But I can. Hold on. I can bring that up.
If there's something you want to send to me later, I can add it at the end in the show notes. Just so we get some bio link on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for the we have a website to show some of our work, some of the products that we do. I should have add some Chinese English in there, but most of my students, they are Chinese. They know both. So we do put if I can share that. That's our website, and this is like some of the new curriculums that we do. We develop for the during this time of the year because we cannot do face to face. That's the product. Well, just read more, and then you can find more.
Click on it.
Well, there's some in English. Then they'll get into in English. Okay, so the products in English, and then some of this media outlet. You can see some of the news that we do with the local paper. Okay.
Perfect.
And some other.
For those listening who might not be looking right now, the company here is Achievers Track, and you can find this at a-track.net.
Yeah, that's right. So
perfect.
And well, I think the final thing is with this time of with what's happening, and I can actually share a little bit of how we change our lines of work this year with the change of learning. We can have in-person learning. Even though the school's open, but they do not allow any after-school activities, so we have to change everything. So I think the last thing I can share is ready to change. The only constant in this universe is change.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so we change everything. We already start doing all the online teaching at the end of February, after we've been waiting for a month. Of course, it's New Year, Chinese New Year, so we say okay, take a break, but we say no, the break is way too long. It's like a month, and so we got to do something. So we change. How we change it? We just give up what we think is working. and really I think what my getting is, and with a lot of the people doing almost the same line of work, is that they really hold on to what they are, what their establishment is. So I'm really good at this. I can only do this this way in teaching. And on February, the end of February, when I just woke up one day, I just say, you know what? I need to change. I need to re-examine what needs to be out of the syllabus. What can be done? So we change it slowly. And what it's almost like it's I was telling people, a lot of people say, hey, how does it feel like? Well, it feels like 17 years ago when I just started business. Just then people say, well, that's sad. That's really sad. It's like you wipe out everything 17 years. I say, no, but except I got two things going on. Two things is favor for me. One, I got a group of students that willing to try my new things.
Yeah.
Okay. And the second thing is I got some kind of experience in designing the lesson. After I design the lesson, I can go and try that out with the students because they're bored anyway. I say, hey, let's gather together. Let's try this. And so we start out by using the home item to do science experiments, which is very hard because home in Hong Kong is very small, and nobody got like a storage room.
This is something we're running into as well.
Yeah. So I have to redesign the whole thing, and I have to read a lot. And one thing I find out is what you read online. I always think those people who put that online, they are good people. First, I have to assume they're good people. They want you to be able to teach what they show you. But the thing is, that's a different. You have to make it localized. All right. And so we change a lot of things. So I have to so at the end, I slowly change, develop a lot of things. Something is not working. I say, okay, just give up on that, and don't do that. And then slowly on, we develop a whole new set of curriculums. Then after like 3 months of a lot of failure, and just ask all my staff to just like start thinking. Everybody do research. Everybody think out of the box. Everybody just give up everything that they think is working in the past in teaching. Mm-hmm. Think something new. Look around at your home. What can you do? Okay, and then come up with things. And then slowly we have school coming in, and we say, hey, you know what? We can make it work. And they say, oh, okay, well, you can do that. Oh, okay. Well, then business start coming in, and because we don't hold on to what we think we have.
Yeah,
it's not there. It's not there. It's not there. Yeah. Then slowly now and then we start to hear some comment, because I'm the one who's teaching, so I know the feedback immediately. Then they say, it's nice, do all this nice STEM work. Okay. Is there something a little bit more sophisticated? Well, then you have to say, they don't have much material.
Right.
They want some measurement and things. So we incorporate some apps, some free apps. And then we redesign something new. And just so one of the things we use, we develop is we just use one of the freshing apps to create the scope, the animation for the kids. Yeah, it works. They love it. It's so easy. It's easy. It's fun, and you can go into lots of science. So we develop. So because of this situation now, we develop. Right now we have at least 10 new lessons being created. Yeah. It's. I have to tell you. Then people say, you're so creative. No, I have to tell you. It's either you do it, either you change, or you go out of business. That's it.
That's it right now. It's all about how do you stay agile.
Yeah. So it's almost like literally it's do or die.
Yeah.
It's do or die. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think the last thing I want to tell you is that with this so-called success, I always think, don't let this. I always tell myself, don't let this to fool you, to fool myself. I mean, I need to as humble as ever, because I know nothing, and I'm still learning, and so it just keep reading. My point is keep reading. I read tons of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, literally tons of stuff. I subscribe to lots of newsletter, email newsletter. I read. I read a lot of things on science, not related to science, and then that's how I got. Sometimes I bling, get an idea, and that's how we do it.
They come from everywhere, those ideas. Thank you. That's a fantastic message to end on. This idea of
hopefully,
you can't rest on your successes because that's in the past. Now something else is happening.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it's success. I'm glad I sold like 4,000 of this. I'm glad, but I can't rest on this. All right, and because if I drew on this, it's a dead end at the end. And I actually see a lot of companies are going in that route because they still keep holding it, and they say, okay, well, lockdown, we cannot do physical activities, teaching. Then what can we do?
And it's like we said earlier, even though there's an ending, there's always a new beginning.
Yeah. So that's how we see it, and it's tough. I just tell you, it's tough. It's tough to come up with. I mean, as an educator who teach, the situation you have, and then you have to come up with something new that the kids are able to do it, and easy, fun, scientific, and able to learn, and creative, and they can have all different kind of things, and also they don't want to everything is the same. Me neither. Okay,
right.
It's to say, okay, we don't want just like every things that they do is exactly the same. What's the point, they would say. And it's a challenge, and that's what but my thinking is, my faith is, if we can go through this, we will be stronger than ever. And because what we're developing right now, if we can do it online, we can definitely do it in person.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Even better. Even better. Yes. And to answer your final questions, where can you find star maps? Unfortunately, we don't have any outlet to sell overseas, and so if you want it, you need to order from me, and I ship it to you. So you pay shipping. That's it. So anyway, that's it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being on our show today, Ricky. This was fantastic. I think we all learned so much about New Year and about just like everything happening with the teaching situation in China right now, or in Hong Kong specifically.
From the mystery